Hey, hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today's video is related to Salesforce Business Analyst. In this video, I'm talking about the sprint kickoff call. That's uh, the meeting that's held at the beginning of the sprint to align the team on the sprint goals, scope, and plan of action. And this meeting ensures that everyone involved understand their roles and responsibilities and is prepared to start the work. These are the things that typically happens during the sprint kickoff call. So we'll start with the sprint goal. The objective of this step is to define um, the sprint goal and to discuss with the team. For example, if the sprint is focuses more on the automation of lead assignment process, the goal will be towards that. And basically, if the user stories are scattered and targets different functionality, then we'll reiterate the functionality and the goal of the sprint mm, and basically we address like these are the functionalities that we are trying to achieve from that sprint, right? And then we recap the sprint backlog. So in this step, basically what we do, we basically um, give the overview of the user stories that has been identified for this particular sprint, and highlight the most critical one, then the high priority items, right? And confirm that the sprint backlog is finalized and aligned with the team capacity. So, before the sprint kickoff call, we have already done the sprint planning call. So, in that sprint planning call, we have already identified the complexity of the user stories. We have identified points and walkthrough of the user stories has already been done with the solution architect and technical architect, and there are no open question and they understand the functionality of each user stories, and the user acceptance criteria is also been defined for each user story. And uh, and this meeting is basically we are discussing among all the team members. All the implementation team member is there and the QA team member is also there. So the third thing we discuss about the roles and responsibilities, since we have allocated the user stories, and we basically address the roles and responsibility that is for each team member for this particular sprint. So if from the expectation from the development team, so whatever user stories has been allocated to each team member, they will finish those user stories on time, and the QA team member will identify the test cases, and their responsibility is to run the testing when the user stories are pushed into QA environment for testing, right? And we also identified risk and dependency, and based on the user stories, if there are any risk involved, if there is any dependency with the external system, and we need input from other system uh, related to any integration. If the user stories are focusing on the integration part, then we will discuss all the risk and identify any risk involved while doing our work for this sprint, right? And third thing, the fifth step is clarifying requirement. So basically, if there are any question from the team regarding the user story, so we basically we'll make sure that we take the notes on their question and address their question, and if they're looking for any additional details or refinement of the user story, so make sure that you as a business analyst, you make sure that you fill those gaps and you take the notes from the team, and then you review the definition of done. So what does it mean? So basically what will happen on each step when the development team is done with you know solutioning part. If they have written any code, the code should be reviewed with from the team member, other team member, and should be unit testing and should cover the 75% code should be covered in the unit testing. So that's the a definition will define for each functionality that is being involved in this sprint, right? And from the QA team, will basically advocate them that the test cases should be written, and for all the user stories, and the documentation should be up to date, and we'll make sure that when uh, the code is pushed into the QA environment, so the demo feature is demo ready at the time to the QA team members, and also when the functionality is available for UAT testing, uh, the demo feature and the demo should be available to the business users. And so these are the definition we review in the kickoff call, and we set the expectation for collaboration. The collaboration will be on uh, the collaboration tool that we are using. So whenever we are accomplish any task, completing task, user stories we are completing in the development phase, we'll make sure that move to the another stage, like development done, development um, code review is pending. So based on the task that we are completing, we make sure that we are involving other team members and addressing the status of each user stories as we move forward in the sprint, right? And we establish key dates and milestones. So basically, we address all the key dates. So what is the development time for this particular sprint, and how many days? So uh, when the code will be available for QA, and when the changes will be available to UAT in the UAT environment, and what is the time frame for each activity. So we discuss those key dates, and when is that deployment day for the production, and what is the hypercare period, and when the next retrospective meeting is planned after the sprint. So all these key dates and milestones we discussed during the sprint kickoff call. So I hope you get some clarity around this sprint kickoff call and what all things we do. So please let me know if you have any question, or you want to learn something more about other activities. Let me know by comment. I'll be happy to discuss on those topics as well. Thank you very much, and thanks for connecting with me. I'll catch you up in my next video.